The secret multimillionaires and billionaires use to grow their business is actually the same one we use, but it's missing one step that we don't know because society won't tell us. And it's science-based. It's an equation, and today I'm going to talk about that because out there, 88% of business owners are struggling with anxiety, stress, and burnout. And if you're trying to scale up from 10K to 20K to 30K, you try to grow your team or actually just have more time with your family and friends and do the things you love without sacrificing your health, the things you love, or the things that just make you happy, then this is the video for you. Because modern work tells us a completely different story, and society tells us a different story. And the normal days for 88% out there look like they force themselves to wake up. They push them through the high performance habit of waking up at 5 a.m., waking up already to a 10 feet long to-do list, having 20 WhatsApp buzzing, 300 new mails, and they just push themselves into the first cup of coffee out of 10 in that day. And this fog and exhaustion goes through the whole day. Every step feels heavy. It always this pressure on your chest, always this pressure to deliver, and you don't eat much. You push yourself through the next hour, and in the end of the day, you're lying there in your bed asking, is that really for me? Am I a failure? This guilt comes up because you look back on the day and you see yourself moving forward with tasks that actually grow longer, a calendar that grows longer, and you feel that you actually didn't move at all. And that's a reality I see every day. And the problem here is that it's not your fault that you're lazy. And it's not the problem that you are a failure or not cut out for business. It's a problem that our society rewards busyness, but not productiveness and effectiveness. And they tell us in school already, shut up and listen, and hard work is the answer. And that's how we burn ourselves out throughout the day because we try to fix it all by ourselves. It's those missing parts of slowing down to actually focus on what matters most and to do the reps without sacrificing our energy, our health, or, like I said before, the time of our loved ones. So the first thing I need to say here is, if you feel anything like this, book your free game plan call below, jump on it, and you'll see how you can build your own burnout-proof system, and we map it out together. So society tells us hard work is the solution and productivity is hard work, but there's actually one part missing. Everything society tells us are external solutions. I always say productivity is determination plus deep focus. So they only tell us about the deep focus part and how we can leverage it. So you know it from your work when you're an employee, how this stress management seminars work, and how they tell us you need another color-coded calendar, you need another productivity app, a little timer, or just a better structure. And in the end, nothing of that is sustainable. So you need to realize you're missing one part of the equation of what productivity really is and how real productivity works. And I will show it here that when you pick up productivity and we have the straight line and we want to get to one goal over here, that you're missing the first part. And the first part, I say, is the determination. And what we are missing here, when you have here the deep focus, is everybody will tell you the external thing. You need a new AI tool, you need the newest software in the market, but they never tell you about the missing link, and that's what millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires use, is the internal. And that's where it all starts. The internal side, where you actually start in your mind and in your brain. And that's the missing piece we're going to talk about today. And I made the same experience with burnout, and I made the same experience with trying to move forward without burning out. But in the end, I had 14-hour days. I was never really present. I was always missing family time. I missed dinners. I lost friends. I lost a ton of money. And in the end, I looked back and I got in neuroscience and I looked back how I worked, and I came up with a framework. I call the 3 R's of framework that we use with our clients to actually build your business, scale up your business without losing time with your family, without sacrificing your health. And I'm going to show you the 3 steps. And I want to imagine the whole part of productivity as a house. And the first step we do is we reset. That means when we have this house here, draw it up here, that you can see it. Where is it? Oh, I do it here. Yeah. So I do it here. Is we need the foundation. So it's like the garden ground. This is the reset. And the reset is all about working on your inner beliefs, because you can have the best systems in the world. You can have the multimillionaire idea and solution, but you're missing is when your brain and mindset isn't into it, everything will fail, because your head is subconsciously sabotaging you. That's the whole point. So the first thing you need to do is always working on your negative beliefs and thought patterns behind your actions. That means we are working here on cutting out distractions, the destructive habits, and realizing with all this day-long work what is going on, because we are so surrounded by noise, we never realize what really is going on inside our head. So it's the whole point of stepping back, resetting, and realizing what is going on in our head. And it's the phase to build a foundation because you start fixing the hidden leaks. When you put so much effort in your work, in your day, and you drain all the energy, it's a leaky bucket. In the end, all that effort is lost. So that's why you need to start working on fixing those leaks, and you actually need to track your thoughts, your beliefs, and this inner voice that keeps talking to yourself. So it's the whole point of realizing when I'm working on some kind of project and my head just keeps screaming, you're not meant for this, or this guilt in the end of the day, I'm not cut out for business. That's something you need to track and need to work on. And it's all about regaining that clarity, that mental clarity, but also this control over stress and overthinking. And that's the first part. I call it the reset phase because it's about building your inner garden. The next step is actually, I will do it in a different color, is the rise phase. And it starts with using that foundation, because we have our little house on here, with a window and a little door here. And that's the rise phase. And the rise phase is the one where you build up on this foundation. And that's something you need to do, because then you build your foundation, you get rid of destructive habits, you get rid of beliefs and bad beliefs, because Elon Musk always said you need a delusional self-belief. That's actually the whole point of the reset phase. And also Jeff Bezos said that it's all the point of you can do it, and it's not this fake it till you make it kind of deal that you start lying, but visualizing it and knowing you can do and that you're cut out for this. And the rise phase is that you use those foundations. You use to work on yourself. You use to this beliefs here to take action. And that's the next point. You start trusting your gut again. You start trying to make big business decisions without constantly running in this loop, and always building up on this solid foundation to stay focused, to take high impact decisions and actions that actually move your business forward, and then embrace this calculated risk. So it's really using what you have, using the inner self, and that's how you build up on this. And the last one is that you need, of course, sustainability. And it's the most point that's missed, to be honest, because we all know it. I have the new year resolution of, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then it happens after 2 weeks you're done. And it's because you get pushed back into old destructive habits. And that's why we need those, I call it the reshape phase, because it's the whole point of building resilience, but also those scalable systems that hold you back, or better protect yourself, that you don't fall back into those old habits. So it's all about energy management, boundaries, and building your own routine that fits your work structure. And I will also draw it here. It's like a wall you have around your house. You can imagine it like this, because you need to protect it from the external that could push you, like another Slack message, another Teams message, somebody that calls you, or some client making pressure on you, because it's the point of avoiding this shot from the external to destroy it all here like a bazooka. That's the point here. And it's all about making this sustainable changes in the long term. That's where you build a personalized structure for your week and set clear boundaries. That's how you actually build this internal side, this inner house, to then combine it with tools like some kind of productivity app, some kind of calendar structure. So it's just adding this missing piece here of the internal side that science actually proves is missing. And that's why sustainability fails in the modern workplace, because we never talk about what's going on when our prefrontal cortex is overloaded from busy work, when you drain your energy, when after 55 hours your energy is done and you need to recharge and you need to take care of your mental health. So those 3 phases, reset, rise, and reshape, from building up that foundation, resetting those inner beliefs, working on cutting out the noise, tracking where your energy is leaking, to building up on that confidence, taking that action, to making it sustainable, are actually the 3 parts multimillionaires and billionaires use. That's how we use it with our clients, to scale up, to build a burnout-proof map for them so they can have their business that actually serves them. And I want you just to imagine for a second what powerful way this actually is. Because when you understand that productivity is determination plus deep focus, and you're missing the inner part, it's something you can act on right now. And it just starts with self-awareness. And when you look back then in 6 months, you are a completely different person. We have people changing after just 1 week because they realize where their energy and where their boundaries lack. And it starts very fast with the self-awareness. So you can imagine how 6 months from now, you're actually waking up with a clarity in your morning. You're not pushing yourself anymore. You know what task is to be done, a deep focused work block, and you structure your day and your week like that, that you know when it's time for sales, when it's time for marketing, when it's time for my offer, when it's time for my clients, and you actually put it all into perspective and use deep focus blocks, use time blocking, but also know when it's time to recharge, when it's time for the family, and you start getting awareness because you start tracking it. So you have a completely different life then, because you actually make more money while working less. You start having this clarity, this energy again. You can actually go on a vacation. You can start realizing how powerful your day is and how much you get out of it when you structure and start on your inner side of productivity. And that's actually how real productivity works. So if you're all into that and if you want to start trying to make those changes to actually have a business that serves you again, and actually try to have a business that gives you time for your family so you can do the things you love, you can do in things you dream about, like going on a vacation or just working 4 days a week without losing revenue, check out my last video here. I'm going to link it here. And also don't forget to click on your call.